Hey guys, what's going on? So in today's video, we will be heading to the shop and checking out the deals. Be warned, there will be some nice math going on here. Kinda simple math, but math nonetheless. We're going to be going through and looking at the best and worst deals in the shop. So if you feel like you want to, purchase a little something, get a little boost, then I'm here to guide you. I do want to start by saying there is totally nothing wrong with being free to play at all, but for those that do want to support the game and get something for it, then you should at least know what you're getting and the value of it. So I've been playing here for 3 weeks now. I'm just beginning my 4th week, so I have a much better idea about the values of everything here. I will say though, it's kind of hard to put a lot of this stuff in crystal value unless it's just crystals, so do keep that in mind. What I've already purchased as a sort of disclaimer, because also you can see that anyway, is the beginner achievement package, which is no longer here because I purchased it. I also purchased one growth support package before. It refreshes once a week now, which is actually pretty cool, and the White Knights selector. So we'll get into all that, but that's more of a just for a record thing. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna be starting with Lina's Choice. It's the first tab here, everything good. Monthly crystal package. Again, this is the best thing in the game you can possibly spend your $5 on. No holds barred, it's undisputed awesomeness. You get 800 crystals for $5. Doing a little bit of math, that comes out to 0.6 cents per crystal. As we get later on into this video, you will see how amazing that really is. While I do understand you do have to wait 25 days to get the full amount of crystals here, it is a nice little passive amount of crystals, and ultimately you will have those 800 by the end of it. Next, you can pretend we're looking at the beginner achievement package. I actually made a little account just to see what is actually in the beginner achievement package, because I had forgotten. And all of these achievement packages come with these 5 6-star evolvemons, so the value in that regard doesn't change, but the crystals amounts do change. They go higher and higher because of course they get more expensive as well. The veteran pack is 30, the expert pack is 20, and the beginner pack is 10. And I will tell you already that the value gets worse and worse the higher you go, which is kind of weird. I would assume since you're like getting higher level and everything, and it's kind of hard to keep going higher, it would be better value, but it's not. So yeah, since all 3 of those achievement packages come with the same amount of evolvemons, we're really only going to be comparing the crystal cost. So in the beginner pack, you get 410 crystals. Once you get to rank 100, this comes out to 2.4 cents per crystal. The expert achievement package, however, gives you a total of 670 crystals, but that's for $20, so that comes out to 2.9 CPC. And finally, the veteran, while it does give you 940 crystals total, that is $30, which comes out to 3.1 CPC. So they're all somewhat close, except for the beginner one, which is quite a bit higher. That cents per crystal is not taking into account Marvelous Evolvemon though, which do definitely have a value of their own, especially once you get a little bit later and all those freebies stop rolling in. So I personally put them at a value of about 30 crystals each, which of course changes the sort of CPC values on each of the packages, making of course the beginner even more attractive and the later tiers less attractive because you get the same exact evolvemons and the same exact amount of them. So that's Lina's Choice. All in all, I think everything in here is decent value. By far the best is monthly, then beginner, expert, and then veteran at the worst. Next, we're going to be looking at beginner's pick. I kind of laughed when I first saw this package at $99.99 for a beginner. And of course, there's definitely more than just the crystals here. There is quite some value in the rest of the stuff, but nowhere near $100. Let's just talk about the crystals for a second. So you're getting 1,200 crystals for $100. That comes out to a whopping 8.3 cents per crystal. Keep in mind, the monthly package is 0.6. This is 8.3. And while 15 million gold is definitely a lot and will definitely help you progress, I put gold at about 20 crystals per million value. That'd be about an extra 300 crystals in gold you're getting. Even that might be a bit of a high estimate for gold, considering you will get about 600 to 700k when you use 9 crystals to refresh the gold dungeon, considering that you're buying the dungeon tickets in bulk. But running the gold dungeon does require stamina, so it kind of evens out, I think. And naturally, there is a limit to how often you can run the gold dungeon rather than just getting a huge lump sum of 15 million. The insignia selectors, 1,000 actually isn't that much, but the fact you can select the colors, I really hope you don't have to do that one by one, else it's probably not even worth it to get them. And the essence selector is kind of baloney unless you can choose rainbow essence. I don't know, I've never had an essence selector before, so Dunno. If you can select Rainbow Essence, then hell yeah, totally worth it. 500 Advent Essence is quite a lot, but I've noticed just spamming Advents for a while, you get a lot of Advent Essence quite quickly when you're just kind of spamming it. That doesn't hold as big of a value for me. Rainbow Essence, on the other hand, is a little bit harder to get when you're not spamming Essence Dungeon, and even then, it kind of comes in slowly. You can go to the town and craft it, but again, you're going to be kind of running low on all the other essences then. Ultimately, I would say this is a very bad deal considering it is $100. You would think they would just cram a lot of value in there to get someone to drop 100 on it. Let's not even talk about the 20k enhanced stones. That's quite embarrassing, really. It sounds like a lot, but I've gone through 50k in a matter of 10 minutes just raising a few runes, so it's not that much. So I would say this is one of the worst deals in the shop currently. On the other end of the spectrum, we have this deal you can purchase once a week. I think this is one of the best deals in the shop, actually, and it's extremely easy to see the total crystal value of this one because you can buy stamina potions and you can buy dungeon tickets for crystals, and while I hate to say you will be doing that if you're playing right, on one hand, I think, you can play however the hell you want to, it's a game after all, but on the other hand, if you're not using stamina potions or dungeon tickets, your progress is going to be pretty slow. Dungeon tickets mainly for the gold place, obviously, but stamina potions, you'll just need a lot of those. Regardless, the total value of this, when you're buying the stamina potions and dungeon tickets in bulk, would be about 560 crystals, coming out to 1.7 cents per crystal, which means it actually comes in second place to the monthly card. Here we have a similar package, but it's kind of weird because it says one time only, like it's something special, but this is actually quite a bit worse than the package we just went over. We do get 220 crystals instead of 110 for the same price, but we only get 5 stamina potions and 5 dungeon tickets. So again, saying 45 crystals for the stamina potions, 45 crystals for the dungeon tickets, and 20 crystals for the gold. Combining all that together, we get a CPC of 3, which is nearly twice as high as the package we just reviewed. So this is also pretty bad, especially considering it's a one-time only sort of special thing going on there. But again, if you're going to be buying stamina potions and dungeon tickets, which you most likely are if you want to progress at a decent pace, then that's a bad deal as well. Next, we're looking at the Knight Selector package. It's pretty much impossible to put a value on, I would say, because it's a damn SSR selector, so the value there really depends if you have a hero here you want or you feel you need. Of course, I would say the value is the highest when you just start playing, and it gets a little bit lower and lower and lower as you progress through the game and have access to more heroes and more options. I got the White Knight selector so I could get Ramu because she is just a really good support, and I think it was absolutely worth it. Of course, you're not buying it for the 110 crystals or the Rainbow Mon. I'm not even going to put a value on this. I will say, however, that if you're later on into the game, you may want to wait because on the 28th day of login, you will get a Knight Selector, which I will assume you can select any of the Dark or White Knights like you could when you would buy the package. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the beginner's pick. So best thing in here that I can actually put a value on, because there's the Knight Selectors, is this, the Growth Support package, and the worst value will have to be this one. Unless you're like a super whale that wants like 6 purple stars on their entire team in your first week, then you'll probably need that 15 million gold anyway. I mean, if you would buy it directly from the shop, it would have a value of 1,000 crystals, but I have never and will never buy gold from the shop for crystals. So now we're looking at Experts selection. I had huge air quotes going on, but since I have no webcam, you couldn't see that. I haven't gotten a green screen yet. Not gonna go into a tangent here. So we got the total growth pack. If you have noticed, I believe, I haven't done the exact math on these 9 because, 9 is a kind of a hard number. I believe this is the exact materials to get one hero to level 60 from base 4-star. So you got the 4 4-stars, throw it in, make it a 5-star, 5 5-stars, throw it in, make a 6-star. It goes like that, but I'm pretty sure this is exactly the amount of Evolve Mons you need to get someone to 60. Along with that, you get 940 crystals. Again, I put each Evolve Mon at a value of 30 crystals. These 5-stars I'm putting at 5 crystals because ultimately a 6-star is just 6 of these combined. The 4 4-stars I'm going to put at a total of 5, so around 1.25 crystals each. And I'll put the Rainbow Mon at like, I don't know, 5 crystals. They do contain a ton of experience, but experience isn't super hard to get, so I'm kind of putting it a bit maybe on the low end. So if we combine that all together with the crystals and the crystal values I placed on these guys, it would come out to around 1,490 crystals, or 5.3 cents per crystal, which is definitely up there. at the high end of crystal cost. So again, this one is not a very good deal. The 6-star rune selector pack, I'm not even going to discuss. It's $40 for 6 rune selectors and a tiny handful of enhanced stones. I mean, the selectors you can't get anywhere else, so this is kind of an exclusive item, I would say. I've only gotten one from some kind of beginner reward thing, and I used it on a Rune of Rage. Yeah, I guess that was a mistake. Should have gone for one of those special runes that you can't really just get from farming Rune Dungeon, but I was a noob. Hey, mistakes happen. So it's like really bad value, but also kind of unlimited value at the same time, since you can't get those anywhere else, the selectors, as far as I'm aware. Here we got the Hero Talent Pack. Again, it's one of those things I didn't really feel like putting a value on, because it's kind of all over the place here. Just the 340 crystals for 30 obviously isn't worth it at all. That's, again, near 8-9 cents per crystal. The 1 million gold is quite pathetic as well. It doesn't really do much. And yeah, this is pretty much almost what you need to get all the talents for an SSR. Just the Advent Essence for the level 60 talent is 250, and you need Advent Essence before that as well. So it's not even enough for one hero. I'm not even sure if the Essence would be enough. I haven't counted that or anything. So the value there is pretty bad as well. Considering all this stuff is somewhat easily farmable. I mean, 200 of each Essence you could probably get with like 2 stamina potions, maybe. I might be exaggerating a little bit, but whatever. Advent Essence, 250 is quite a lot, but you know, once you start running the Advent dungeons, you know, there's events going on for them all the time, you will get 250 quite quickly. And finally, the Enhanced Pack, the only pack in here which I don't hate. I have been considering getting this because 500 of each insignia is quite something. Again, the crystal value is horrendous, as it typically is. 500 of each insignias, I would definitely take that over 1,000 insignia selectors for sure, because at one point you're gonna be raising lights, darks, waters. Just maybe at that moment you would rather have 1,000 fire insignias to raise your Morrigan or whatever. Just to get an idea, okay, so I've been playing 3 weeks. I would say I'm above average in terms of farming, because I do kind of farm a lot when I really want to get something, and in turn I get some other things. Insignias are incredibly hard to farm though. Besides just doing your guild stuff daily, you don't really get them, and then you get quite a bit at the end of the week as well if you're in a decent guild. My guild's still growing, it's still getting there, so we're not super strong yet in terms of members. But you can see I have 1,100 water and 1,100 light insignias. I've never used light or water insignias before, so this is approximately maybe what an average player would get for free. We can say maybe 300 per week or so. So that pack there is at least a week and a half's worth of insignias. So in the expert selection, I would say the best value here is definitely the enhanced pack. Although, you know, some may disagree. It's just, I think these are some of the hardest things to get. You can't really force farm them, because even when you're like running a ton of Advent dungeons, the insignias they drop are like random. When you're doing your daily guild dungeons, the ones that drop there are mostly random. The only thing that's not as random is at the end of the week, where you get a certain amount of all insignias, but even then, it's like 100. Or maybe 150. I think it might even be up to 300 if you complete everything, but you need to be in a pretty high level guild for that. And then of course, obviously the worst deal that can ever exist is just buying crystals for dollars. Here is 1,200 crystals for $99.99. That obviously makes this package look amazing, considering you get all of this extra stuff as well as the 1,200 crystals. But you could only purchase it once per month. So of course, when you've purchased every single package in the shop as many times as you possibly can, because I think all of them come with crystals, and the crystal values are about the same as they are in the shop, then you can start buying the 1,200 crystals. I guess you can do that infinitely. You do get 600 bonus garnets, which you can get 2 6-star Marvelous Evolvemon for, so you know, it's something a little bonus extra. But yeah, that is it. That's the shop. Number 1 best thing, monthly crystal package. Second best thing, growth support package. Third best thing, the invisible beginners achievement package, followed by the expert and veteran. And so yeah, I guess you kind of get the point. You're free to disagree, and you can share your own suggestions for what you think is a better value in the comments down below. Leaving a like if you happen to enjoy would also be greatly appreciated. Thanks, as always, for watching, and until next time.